We are currently working on installing an 8-channel DSP amplifier along with a separate subwoofer amplifier into a truck car audio system, all of which is mounted on the rear wall of the vehicle on a modular amplifier rack. How can we make this amplifier rack easily serviceable with quick disconnect plugs and keep the wiring clean? Hey, how's it going? I'm Mark. Welcome to CarAudioFabrication. On this channel, together you and I learn how to master car audio and how to design, build, and install our dream car audio system. Let's get on into it. So if you haven't seen the previous video, let me bring you guys up to speed really quick. So far, we've got both of our amplifiers mounted. This is the Helix V8 DSP amp. It has a digital signal processor built in, 8 channels of amplified output, along with 6 additional channels that we can DSP control, 2 of which in this case are going to the Helix P1. We're going to be using this for our subwoofer amplifier, 1500 watts RMS. We have our power and ground distribution block, no fuses or ground links installed quite yet, but you can see that the wiring is of course running to each respective amplifier. And then we also have a remote turn-on relay which feeds this distribution block. This way I can have several different accessories that come on with the audio system of the vehicle. Think cooling fans, LEDs, things like that. And one of the leads out of this block will tell the DSP amplifier to turn on, and then this has its own remote output, which goes over to the subwoofer amplifier to tell it to turn on. My goal with this amp rack is to have it be easily serviceable, so I want to be able to easily disconnect things if need be. Honestly, probably the most complicated part would be just undoing some of these set screws in order to disconnect the main power and ground lead. But so far we have a quick disconnect for the remote turn-on relay. And the only other items that need to have wiring to different things that are mounted in the vehicle is of course our outcoming speaker signal. So in this case, we have our subwoofer speaker wire. This will go to our subwoofer box. I want to make that quick disconnect. We also have the first 4 powered channels from the DSP amplifier. Those are connected here, and then the next 4 channels I need to wire speaker wire to. And then finally, we need signal to come into the amplifier. In this case, that will be coming from RCA wires that are going to our aftermarket head unit, but the inputs are also on this side for the high-level inputs. If I was retaining the factory system and using high-level inputs, those could come in on this side as well. I need all of those different items to be a quick disconnect style. So let's start with the RCA signal wires. Now, in my current install, obviously, RCA wires are kind of quick disconnect as is, but my current RCA wires run to this location right here in the vehicle. I don't want to have to pull out the wire stretcher, so we're just going to use this little short length. This will allow me to run from here over to here and have sort of a quick disconnect style plug. For that, I'll be using these simple little couplers right here. You may have noticed that a lot of the wiring is already secured to the amplifier rack with these zip ties with evenly spaced holes. In order to create these evenly spaced holes, I use the D wire ruler from the guys over at 5-Star along with Mobile Solutions. And to secure our RCA wires, I'll be doing the same process. Now, a quick side note on these RCA wires, these are the crystal cables from our show sponsor, New Concepts. Now, I've been using the crystal cable RCA wires for as long as I can remember now. We've used them in many different builds here on the channel. And one of the things I like about them is they're always reliable and noise-free, but also there are so many different options within the lineup. Not only do they have 2-channel options, they also have 4-channel RCA options, which is great when you want to have front left, front right, rear left, rear right for sending a signal from an aftermarket head unit in the front of the vehicle to the back of the vehicle. They also have some additional accessory style ones like this auxiliary cable that comes in that same exact style. That way you can have the same looking RCA signal wires throughout your full build. To learn more about the crystal cable from our show sponsor New Concepts, check out the links down in the video description. In order to route and secure these RCA wires, I'm first going to plug them into the amplifier, and you'll notice that there's a hole in the amp rack there. That is the mounting hole for the amp rack, so I need to make sure I have clearance around that. Now, whenever I'm doing this process, I'll lift the amplifier rack up on some boards. That gives me clearance behind the rack so that I can easily drill without drilling into my work table. I drill my first hole, and then I use this Allen key through the hole to kind of hold the D wire ruler in place, and then I proceed with drilling the rest of the holes as needed. My hand's in the way here, but what I'm doing is marking a quick line on the outside edge of the RCAs where I need to drill the next set of holes. Now to secure the wires, we'll of course be using zip ties, and I make sure that I'm consistent as I'm adding these zip ties. I want the head to be on the same location for each one, so I put them through in the same direction and secure them in the same way as well. To trim these, I make sure that I use flush cutters. I don't want any jagged edges poking out. So here we have it, my friends. The RCA wires are secured and ready to be quick disconnected and plugged into the vehicle. And next I want to turn my attention to using some of these quick disconnect plugs. I'll put a link to these down in the video description for you guys, but each of these has 8 different pins that we can use. So with an 8-channel amplifier, you obviously have positive and negative for each channel, so that's going to be a total of 16 channels that we need, which means we're going to need 2 of these plugs. Now on these, this is called the plug and this is called the receptacle, and technically they connect to each other. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use the plug for the first 4 channels, and then I'm going to use the receptacle for the other 4 channels. And the reason I'm doing that is so that you can't accidentally mix the plugs when you go to plug this in the vehicle. So the vehicle side connection will have a receptacle for the first 4 channels, and then on the vehicle side for the final 4 channels, we will use a plug. It's highly likely that we're going to have tweeters on channels 1 and 2, and then we're going to have something that's more full range on channels 5 and 6. And obviously that would be bad if those got swapped accidentally, so that's why I like going this route. That way there's no mistakes of misconnecting these. With this particular kit, they do a good job of giving us lots of instructions to use, and I like this breakout here where you can see which ones go in which side, because there are pins. These are actually sockets right here. These are sockets, but there are pins. There's a difference. So in my left hand, this is a pin, and then in my right hand, this is a socket. And inside the connector, these two will actually go into each other like that. But it's important to note that the pin goes in the receptacle and the socket goes into the plug. We're going to want to make sure we obviously pay attention to this based on what we're planning on using for each set of wires, because it's going to define whether we should crimp on a pin or if we should crimp on a socket. So since for the first 4 channels, the first 8 conductors here, I'm going to use the plug, I want to make sure that I crimp on our socket. I'm not sure if you guys can see this, so I might have to do a close-up, but there's a very small hole in the side of these, and that's where we want to look and make sure that we're getting the wire all the way into that hole. If we can't see it in that hole, we may need to strip away a little bit of extra insulation. In this case, these come pre-stripped, so I actually want to cut just a small amount off here. This way we're not leaving as much wire exposed there. I can see it. It may be hard to catch on camera, but that looks good. We'll add this into our specialized crimper tool. Again, I'll link this for you guys. And we just give it a quick squeeze like so. Give it the pull test, and now we are crimped on. So off camera, I have attached a socket to every single conductor here, and now I want to start inserting them into the plug. Now I obviously want to pay attention to which one goes where. I want channel 1 to be on 1 and 2. I want channel 2 to be on 3 and 4, etc. And I also want to be consistent with positive and negative for each of these. Audio Tech Fisher does a good job of labeling all these. So first we have speaker out number 1. We have positive and negative. I'm going to do positive on the first pin and negative on the second. When you first insert the socket, you want to kind of hold it to guide it through there. We're going to set that aside for now. And then we can kind of push using the wire itself. We want to go until we hear a click. There we go. I don't know if you guys could hear that, but you can verify by looking on this side here. Make sure that it's fully seated. There we go. That was a better click on that one. Now pay attention to the numbers, because I've made this mistake before. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It wraps around. So 5 here is going to be our positive on channel 3, and 6 will be negative on channel 3. 7 will be positive on channel 4, and finally 8 negative on channel 4. A quick side note, if there was a reason that you were using, let's say, only 6 conductors out of this, they do have these little sealing plugs that we can use in order to seal off and cap unused positions on the terminal. We're obviously using all 8, and I can see that these have all seated well, so now I'm going to use the wedge lock here for the plug, and actually I should have made sure that this was on first, but we can simply stretch that over. So now we have one of our plugs ready to go. To clean this up a little bit on the outside to make it look like one single bundle, I'm going to use a strip of Tech Flex here. feed this through. And I'm going to bust out the old school heat shrink for this. How many of you guys have been watching since the days of this being the logo? With that harness all bundled up, now I need to turn my attention to adding channels 5, 6, 7, and 8, which require that we add our actual wires here. And I want to label these the same way that Audio-Tech Fisher did, so I'm printing out some heat shrink. I've got those on the wires. And I'm going to strip these wires and of course add wire ferrules as well as I land each one into the amplifier. Now I made a small mistake here. I actually did the top wires first and went to add that bottom row and realized that the top wires get in the way of the set screws, so I had to undo those and fix that quickly. No big deal though, easy to add them in and out with those ferrules on there. I continued adding more and more labels, being careful to carefully space them on the wiring so that they were consistent, and then I crimped on the new pins for the quick disconnect connector, added each of these wires into the plug, and then finally secured the plug with that locking piece. So here we have it guys, the first 4 channels of speakers connected to that quick disconnect plug. The second 4 channels of speakers, so 5, 6, 7, and 8, those are all connected to a quick disconnect plug. Everything is labeled as well. I do want to secure these bundles to the amplifier rack, but I also want to secure our subwoofer wire here. I do want to point out that I've intentionally left a lot longer lead for the subwoofer wire. This is intentional just because of the way the truck is designed. When I'm installing an underseat subwoofer enclosure, I need to be able to access this wiring connection, and that requires that I lift up the seat. It's kind of hard to explain. It's just simply a lot easier to connect this near the subwoofer enclosure rather than trying to reach behind the seat while we're installing it. Just because the subwoofer enclosure kind of gets in the way of everything down here, it's a lot easier to install the amplifier rack, make all the connections except for the subwoofer enclosure, install the subwoofer enclosure, and then do that last. In the past here on the channel, I designed this 3D printed speaker terminal. If you guys want more details on that, be sure to check out the related video. You can also purchase that file so you can print your own, but that uses this XT90 style connection, which is another quick disconnect style plug. I have the male side here that I need to solder to my subwoofer wire connection. This process is quite simple. I first tin the connection along with tinning the wires. I then make sure that I apply some heat shrink, secure the two together, and then heat shrink and cover up that terminal. I also put TechFlex on that secondary bundle, and now we need to secure everything to the amplifier rack. So once again, drilling those holes, using zip ties, and zipping them down. So here we have it, the amplifier rack completely ready to be installed into the vehicle. We've got our quick disconnect plug for the subwoofer. We've got our quick disconnect RCA leads for 4 channels of RCAs using that new Concepts Crystal Series RCA cable. And then finally for our speaker wires, those are also quick disconnect as well. Again, remote turn on, also quick disconnect. The only thing that's technically not quick disconnect is the actual power and ground, but there is a way to make that quick disconnect as well. I'll link that for you guys here on screen. In the next video, we need to get this amplifier rack installed, so if you're new here, I'd love to have you as a subscriber so that you can be updated for future videos. Don't forget, next time you need signal wires for your car audio build, to check out our show sponsor New Concepts with their Crystal Series RCA cables. You can learn more at the link down in the video description. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.